Well, hello guys, it's Dale Walker again, Holeshot Performance, retired. Trying to heal over my last cancer treatment. It's about the 6th day now. If I lose my voice, don't blame me. Anyway, I'm back working on Don's bike. The 1250 that went down in my entryway of my compound here. So I've got his covers all refurbished and painted. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to install these, even though they're very simple, and what I do with some sealer and so on. So the small dyno cover here is the one we're going to do first. Well, not dyno cover, on this bike it's just a crankshaft cover really. But I've already cleaned it. Here's the it is some pretty deep scratches. It turned out pretty nice. You can barely still see a little bit under it. Anyway, the gasket was perfect, so why peel off the gasket? So what we're going to do is set this aside. I have a tube of Suzuki Bond right here, or comparable. Okay, Yamaha Bond, Honda Bond, Suzuki Bond. They're all the same. And what we're going to do is, because I'm using the stock gasket, we're just going to put a super light coat right here on the engine itself, just a tiny little bit, okay, all the way around. Now you could also do this on the gasket, which probably would have been better for me to do, but oh well, I'm already started now. I didn't want to put too much on the gasket. At least this way it's you know, it's only contacting the gasket exactly where the metal aluminum surfaces of the case. Okay, it's plenty good. I'm gonna wipe off my finger. And now we're going to go around this surface just real carefully already on the outside. If there's any little bit of sealer hanging over onto the black case. Okay, and then I'm going to take my finger and just wipe the the inside of the case. What's good about this sealant is it's not like silicone seal. Never use silicone seal on an engine. At least not on covers and things like that. If it squishes in there, it'll break off. It'll eventually float in the oil. It can get in your oil pump, an oil pickup screen, little orifices in the engine. Would ruin your day. Okay, so the bolts from the fall over were kind of buggered up. So we have 5 brand new Suzuki bolts right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a teeny bit of anti-seize on these bolts. Just a tiny little bit. You don't need to Loctite any of this kind of stuff, but it's better to have a little bit of a lubricant, okay? So you can see that. God, I hate doing this. There you go. If it focuses. Just a tiny bit, okay? Go ahead and do that to all the bolts. Just a teeny little bit. All you need. On this engine case, there's 5. And we're going to use this same method on the clutch cover too, as far as the bolts. We're not going to put sealer on the whole cover on the other one. Do that different. Okay, this cover is all completely clean, ready to install. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a teeny bit of WD-40, okay? I'm going to put a little bit on my finger. Just a tiny little bit, just a touch, right? And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to touch just the surface a little bit. Okay? Where am I? There I am. Look at the camera at the same time. Just a tiny little bit where the bolt flange is going to contact the cover, because this is not powder coated. And You can wipe it off when you're done. And this will just help a little bit of preventing a spray paint like this, which is good spray paint. It's the Krylon Fusion with primer, satin black enamel. But that will help prevent, hopefully, chipping the paint. Okay? These are all 8mm head, so you just want to get them started. I have a deep socket in my hand. I'm just going to do it that way to get them started. Okay. They all have a little bit of the anti-seize on them. Let's just get them all started first. Hope you can hear me. Like I say, anybody can put a cover on and just bolt it on. I just wanted to show you how I do it and why I do it like this. And it's always helpful. Somebody that's been doing it for over 50 years, that's me. You learn the bad way, you learn the good way, and you fix it. Alright, so now those are started. So I'm going to put it in my T-handle. You can see that. You can't see it. You'll see it down here. Okay. I'm not even tightening it. I'm just letting the heat, giving it a spin. Well, I'm trying to anyway. I'm retarded today. There we go. Crisscross pattern, so you're not sucking all one side down, okay? It's cold out here. I'm not all with it yet, guys. It takes me about 12 to 15 days to heal up and start feeling a little better. This is only my 6th day, I think. So, doing the best I can. I ran the dyno the day before yesterday, and man, that was hard on me. Okay, we're just going to very, very lightly snug these, okay? Now, you want to use either a 1/4 inch drive or 3/8 drive, inch-pound wrench. You could just snug these. They're around 9 to 10 foot-pounds at the most. But I go less than that. Do yourself a favor, buy an inch-pound wrench just for these type of bolts into aluminum. I'm going to go only 65 or 66 inch-pounds. And again, we're going to go in a crisscross pattern, okay? And I'm not really torquing it yet, but I already have it set. I'm just going to snug them a little more, okay? Hopefully you can see this here. Okay, see, we are going to get some squish on the sealer. We'll wipe off. Okay, they're all pretty snug now, so now we're going to torque them. There you go, 66, 66. I'm still going in a pattern. You always want to do that. That way it's not only going to seal the gasket better, there's no chance of cracking it. Sometimes if you, this is pretty tall, you probably wouldn't, but sometimes if you put a cover on, you get carried away and do 1/4 and torque it, and then go to the other side, you'll break it. Okay, here we go. 66 inch-pounds all the way around. Okay, let's do it one more time. Yep, see, and it still took a little bit off of the edges. That's hard to not make that happen, the paint right here. But all you can do is try. So that's hardly noticeable. You could take a brand new Sharpie and get that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some WD-40 and we're going to go around here, get that off. Yeah, you can barely tell, but no matter what you do, powder coat wouldn't do that. But hey, it's okay. The rest is going to hold up just fine, and it still looks 100% better than it did when it fell over, and for a cleanup. Okay. All right. So that's that. Okay. Let's move on to the clutch cover. Let me get set up. Okay guys, this is a little different what we're going to do here. I already prepped all the bolts. They already have little anti-seize on the ends, just like the other front cover. What we're going to do on the clutch cover is we're going to use a little bit of Timken red grease. That's my favorite grease for everything. Anyway, very light film on both sides of the brand new gasket, okay? And the reason I do that is if you ever have to put a clutch in your bike, first of all, the stock gasket is wide. It's not a real thin, little narrow gasket. It's got a lot of bolts close together, and it has 2 dowel pins. So even with a teeny bit of grease, it's not going to squish out and come out of the surface. So just a very thin coat on each side of the gasket, and then we'll stick it on there, and then we're going to do the same thing. So let me prep the gasket. I'll get it put on. And you don't have to worry about these 2 little points right here. I told you originally on the surface here where the case halves meet. The grease is going to do a good job right there. And this motor's been together its whole life, and it's already got the stock sealer that was squished out. So as long as it's pretty smooth surface, this one is, you don't have to do that. Otherwise, you'd leave the gasket dry right there and put a little dab of the Yamaha Bond or Suzuki Bond there and there. But in this case, it doesn't need it. Okay guys, I did most of the gasket. I just want to waste time on the camera. So I'm going to show you, I just put a little of the red grease on both fingers, rub them together, and this is what I do. You don't have to sit there and wipe on each side and make a giant mess. You just want a super thin coat, okay? Another thing you want to do is make sure the dowel pins don't have a little, in case you had to grab it with pliers or something, you got to be real careful. If you put any nick in it, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get the cover on. So what you want to do is you want to get those out or leave them in as long as the cover goes off and on real nice. In this case, one was partly out, I had to grab it. So regardless, you want to try them in the engine and you want to try them in the cover, okay? And if it's got any kind of deformation on it or something, a little scratch, take it on a little deburr wheel or something, go around and around until it will slide in here nice, and also the cover. Because otherwise it's a pain in the butt, and you're going to force it, and it's not going to be a happy day. So here we go. Let's see if this is right. It is. It's not. It's easy to mess it up as far as your alignment all the way around. So see, what's nice about that too, it'll kind of just barely hold it in place for you, and it's on the dowels. Okay, so now the cover is all, I had it up on blocks, but a teeny bit of overspray, of course, just kind of flowed under the cover. So I went over the gasket surface again, even though I had it perfect, with a clean shop towel and a little bit of brake clean, and just made sure it was completely clean and factory fresh. Okay, so now, and I also, luckily I did a pretty nice job on the taping off the window sight. Got that removed. Leave the plug out. It's a nice place to grab onto to put the cover on. Right here. I mean your oil cap. And you're just going to kind of eyeball it, kind of find the dowels. You don't want to push the dowel. Kind of want to get them started evenly so the cover's not cocked. Then you can kind of wiggle, get them started. There you go. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing. Now remember, on a 1250 Bandit, it doesn't matter whether it's a FA, every 1250, 1, 2, 3, these, starting with this one, these 3 here have the little washer under the head that has an O-ring built into it. See the washer on there? I took them off on the last video and showed you, and I put them on, back on the bolt. don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, they have a little rubber washer. There you go. Behind the head. See it? So that these threads must be, not this one, these three. Or why they do that, that's a through hole in the case, and they're just worried about the, the fling off of the oil spinning around from the clutch hub might get by the threads. So just get these started in there, and again, it's these three, not this one. 1, 2, 3. All the rest are the same length, so you don't have to worry about those being different. Okay, and we're just going to get them all started. I'm just going to do it by hand. It's just as easy as they're long enough, they stick out. It's easier than even having a socket on it, really. You get a better feel for it as long as the bolt is in good shape and the threads are in good shape. Just going to get them started, maybe 3 turns. So for sure they're started. And then you can run them in. I don't like using an air tool or an electric drill on this. I mean, once you get them in 3/4 way you could, but a T-handle is just as fast, and if you have some problem with the thread, you're not going to wreck the engine case. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead with my T-handle. You're not going to be able to see it all. Work on that. Junk out of the way. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing, kind of in a crisscross pattern. Okay. You're not going to really hurt a cover this big, but what you want is you want uniformity on the gasket. Not just crunch down one side while you're lightly snugging them. See how I'm just kind of going around in a crisscross, best you can. I just put a little nick in the cover. Yummy. Just barely pull them against the gasket right now. Okay. A little more. Really light. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go crisscross a little bit. You don't wreck your new cover. It clears with the deep socket on this, what I'm doing right now at least. Okay, we start here, we're going to torque them. You can just go around 4 of them, like that kind of, 4 or 5. Now it's against the engine tight enough, so you can just go all the way around. 66 inch-pounds. You can barely hear it click because it's a small wrench. It's clicking. Now. Okay, one more pass. Okay. And those are done. Okay guys, this is going to conclude the video. So both covers look like that after poor old Don fell over in my gravel coming in the shop. And now they look like that. Like I say, they'll chip easy, you know. It's not powder coat, but the good thing about the Krylon Satin Black, a brand new Sharpie matches it perfect. And you know, you're not really hitting that stuff up top. So I think they turned out beautiful. Hang on, I'm hitting my chair, working the video. But anyway, I think they turned out beautiful. And anyway, so the next job for me, helping him, is I'm going to try to refurbish this muffler. I don't have any more shells, so it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be kind of what I can do. And I'm going to pull that all apart, and that will be my next video for this, is showing you how I made this thing better and the best I could get it with the same part. So I'm going to go now, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time on this project. Appreciate you watching. And God bless.